So recently, one of the biggest streamers in the world, also known as Cenat, had put out a video on YouTube basically explaining how he's done with the streaming world and is starting to work on bigger and better things that he's aspired to do for a long time now. And while I do think it's an overall positive thing to want to step back and reassess what you've done or look for other ways you'd want to improve yourself moving forward, but it's for this exact reason why Cenat has been receiving a ton of backlash over the past week. Kai, at the end of his I Quit video, also briefly mentions that he's been working on a secret YouTube channel where he's been documenting his self-improvement journey, which is basically where all this backlash is coming from. To be fair, once we go through this man's channel, you'll see why. Cenat has turned something that can send a positive, well-put, thought-out message to his young and impressionable audience into, in my opinion, a performative male act, and it's not going to be long till we see Cenat listening to Claro with wired earbuds drinking matcha in the middle of a fucking Barnes and Nobles. I mean, this man has already decided to record himself listening to Blonde by Frank Ocean in its entirety while wearing wired earbuds and reading the lyrics out loud on the screen as they pass by. What the fuck? I genuinely have no idea what to make of that. And I'm gonna be honest, they are absolutely frying this man on all platforms. Bro wants a documentary so bad, even got the camera that was following Diddy. That's just fucking upset. Hate how he's trying to act like he's a young college student with no money, trying to chase a fashion dream. You're rich, just drop your shit and go. This gotta be the most performative shit I have ever seen, bruh. Took the words right out of my flaps, brother. I do want to make it clear though, I don't think that what Kai is doing is necessarily a bad thing. He's wanting to improve himself by exercising, reading more books, getting into other hobbies or other ventures outside of streaming, but I do think the way he's going about it is incredibly performative and cringe.
Yo, if you could describe your outfit with a song, what would it be? Viva la vida. Viva la vida. By Cosplay.
So the biggest, I guess, performative act that Kai has done has got to be his like 15, 30, 1 hour reading videos. The premise of these videos, as you could probably infer, are him sitting down, setting a timer on his phone, and reading a book for X amount of minutes. But the funniest part about all these videos are probably the times when the timer on his phone is just going off, and this man decides to show the camera that the timer's going off as he continues to read like he's some sort of genius.
The two most common cues are time and location. Creating and implementation intention is a strategy you can use. Pair a new habit with a specific time and location. The implementation intention formula is I will behavior and time and location.
I call this performative only because the vibe that these videos give off are like, look at me guys, I'm reading. I'm even reading past the timer I set for myself. Did you guys like that? Now that might be a bit harsh, but the only reason I'm even making fun of this whole reading journey thing is because every time I've watched one of these videos, this man seems like all he's trying to do is beat the shot clock that he set on his phone by reading so fast that I don't even think he's truly comprehending the material he's consuming.
And made sure their habits improve rather than decline. Reflection and review enables the long-term improvement of all habits because it makes you aware of your mistakes and helps you consider possible paths of improvement.
By him deciding to read fast, he's sacrificing crucial elements to be able to articulate himself better to become more intellectual, which basically goes against everything that this channel is supposed to portray to him. Quote, reading fast is not thinking. If you're reading fast, you're not thinking and challenging what you're reading. You're not being critical. You're not making connections with existing knowledge. You're not arguing with the author. You're not reading something at the edge of your cognitive ability. All of that is work. And if you're not doing the work, you're only walking away with surface knowledge. Reading is mentally demanding. Stop and think about what you're reading. Reading fast is basically you trying to get through the book, and that ultimately doesn't help you become a more intellectual person. Take time and engage with the material you're reading. It's not worth reading if you're just going to try try to race through the book just to say, hooray, I read book. You need to go back, maybe reread the excerpt you didn't fully understand, or just read slowly and try to actually engage with the material instead of doing what this guy is doing. Sorry for all these abrupt interruptions, but during the editing process, I kind of forgot to mention that it's also a possibility that Kai might not know how to fully read as a person, and that may not even be through a fault of his own. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Now, Kai has been looking up words he doesn't understand, which I do applaud him for, but still the problem lies in him just trying to speed through the book he's reading. And not only that, I also think that he's pressured by the camera he decides to put in his face while reading. Kai also has a variety of other motivating videos, or whatever the hell you want to call it, of him either working out, working on his fashion brand, or just trying to make other life advice videos to encourage his younger audience to become a better person. And I think out of all of these videos, the video that perfectly encapsulates Kai's performative nature has to be the one where he is working late on a scrapbook while listening to People in Paris. I can't say the actual name of the song because I think you guys understand. Anyways, he's up working late and he decides to record himself on, get this, a fucking 3DS at 240p quality. Now, this has to be one of the most preposterous things I've ever seen a filthy rich Twitch streamer do in his life. Instead of recording on the iPhone 17 Pro Max that he definitely has in his right pocket, or the other various expensive, good quality cameras that this man inevitably has, he ultimately decides, nope, I'm gonna whip out the fucking 3DS. And let me be real with you for a second. I think this man just bought a 3DS for the sole purpose of recording that video. Now, I don't have any proof of that, of course, but who in their right mind even thinks that this would come across as anything but performative? You're a multi-million-dollar Twitch streamer that has any resource you could ever possibly desire at your disposal, and you decided to record your self-improvement journey on a fucking potato. Get the fuck out of here, man. You're not coming across as humble, and I don't know if that's what you're aiming for, but it's not working out. Another video, which, let's just be honest, is just fucking comical at this point, is him working out with a personal trainer while listening to Blonde by Frank Ocean. Listen, if anybody is listening to Frank Ocean while pumping some iron, that person either has some major issues that they're working on, or they're doing it for attention, especially if that person is posting it on the internet for thousands to witness. Frank Ocean is probably the absolute last artist I would put on while I'm working out, and that's me saying that with literal Frank Ocean lyrics tattooed on my fucking arm. Why would anyone in their right mind put on Frank Ocean, specifically Blonde, in the gym unless they wanted to curl up in a ball and just cry their eyes out in a corner? Frank Ocean's music is not meant to get a good pump in. It's for you to become depressed and reflect on how shitty of a person you are. I just see this whole thing as hullabaloo. And I'm sure there's even more examples of him being performative, which I'm not gonna just bore you with. You can go look at his channel yourself. Overall, Kai has a decent amount of self-improvement content he's been pumping out to this channel, but I fear that he's only doing so to get the approval of others rather than actually take time, reflect, and actually work on himself. But then again, who knows? I might be wrong about this whole situation, and this might be who Kai really is as a person. I just think it's a bit cringe, and I can understand how people such as myself can come to the conclusion that this is all performative nonsense to appeal to a wider range of people. Just start reading books on your own, man. You don't have to document every single little step on your self-improvement journey to us, because yes, it's coming across as performative. You're a multi-million-dollar Twitch streamer with resources out the ass, and essentially you're able to venture into any business venture without having the risk of not paying rent the next month or putting food on the table for your family. It comes off as performative because, Kai, you're able to do this without fail. There's no obstacles in your way. While I do think it's a great thing that you actually do want to self-improve, and I do think making content from it could benefit your fucking younger audience, but the way you're going about it, speed reading, basically crying to Frank Ocean, in the gym. I don't understand. It's just a little strange because I understand that self-improvement is important and obviously I encourage it, and even making content about it is not a bad idea. But you're not coming across as genuine, Kai. That's really important because nobody's gonna believe that a multi-million-dollar Twitch streamer can't just go into fashion whenever he wants. Obviously, you can. There's nothing stopping you. And I understand you might get backlash, people might fuck with your fashion. That's understandable. But again, you're a multi-million-dollar Twitch streamer who doesn't have to worry about a lot of shit. Please do what you want. Go venture out into, I don't know, prostitution. That's a joke. Don't do that unless, of course, you want to. But do you really have to sit here and act like you're just down on your luck and trying to grind to make it? No. It's all performative, man. That's all. So yeah, that's it from me. If you like this video, please subscribe, like, comment, whatever, do the whole thing. And yeah, have a good one. Peace.